So this is the second part of looking at the grade 1 and 2 distance learning plan on DDSB Spark. I'm back onto the K-2 distance learning page, and you're going to see the resources that have been specially selected for grade 1 and 2 teachers and students. Here I've scrolled down, I'm going to click and open up the menu, and you're going to see a few different things. At the top, there is a learning planning framework. So this is a 5-day planner, and there is a sample that has already been populated for you if you want to take a look at it at an example as well as distance learning links with digital resources to support for language and math. And we have the oral language activities at the bottom provided to you by the speech and language pathologist. There is one activity for every day of the month, so it's definitely something worth checking out for sure. Let's go right into the framework. Again, the sample is there, but we are going to take a look at the blank one. And it's worth keeping in mind as well that we are only planning for 1 hour total of student learning per day. So it's important that we're trying to not cram too much into that hour. Instead, choose a couple of activities that will be meaningful for your students. For example, here on day 1, you can see we've got a read aloud with a couple of prompts, independent reading for 10 minutes, and if we scroll down, we have a modified 3-part math lesson with a minds on, an action, and a practice. It's not supposed to mimic what teaching and learning look like in our day-to-day classroom, but we can modify our practices that we do know work well as best that we can during this time. We're going to go back to the K-2 resources and check out some of the literacy and numeracy distance learning links. I'm going to click on read aloud so you get a chance to see what this annotated list looks like. The links that have been provided have been carefully selected to maximize the quality of learning for your students for those 5 hours per week. There are so many resources online, so this is just a really tight list to give you some really good quality ideas. Many publishers have already waived copyright or offering free access to their resources, like Mathology has if you look in the math section. So please take the time to check this list out. It's really good just to see some resources that we're comfortable using, but as well a chance for us to learn about some other resources that maybe we haven't heard about, and we just need the time to take a look at them. Once you know what your literacy and math goals are for learning for that week, this is a great list to come back to and strategically choose a resource that suits what you're teaching. So again, this is just the read aloud section. If you go back, there are suggestions for writing and word study, independent reading, and then your entire 3-part math lesson as well. Lots of links in there that hopefully are very helpful to you. Let's go back again to the K-2 distance learning menu. And as well, there are suggestions for English language learners. There's a section for French immersion. But then I want us to take a look at the considerations for planning. The resources here are really just suggestions and support. So use your professional judgment. But before we sign off here, I just want you to take a look at some of these considerations before you get started with the planning and this huge shift that we're all taking right now in our teaching profession. The goal of distance learning isn't to add to the stresses of families or the stressors for us as teachers, but to really maintain structure, routine, and the integrity of learning. So, when we're thinking about the things that we're planning for students, we certainly want them to be engaged, but we definitely don't want to overwhelm anybody. So, keep that in mind. We're all trying the best that we can with a very stressful situation, but your students are just going to be so thrilled to know that you're thinking about them, and are still very much a part of their learning and reaching out to them at the same time. If you have any questions about the planning process, or would like an opportunity to co-plan, please reach out. I'm more than happy to support where I can. We are all learning in this together, but I'm so happy to do that with you. So take good care. And again, please reach out anytime.